Imagine this. I want you to imagine that you are about to step up on a stage. Now, that stage could be where 100 or 500 people are going to watch you. That stage could be a conference room, a board meeting where 10, 20 people are going to watch you. That stage could be your classroom where 30, 40 students or your teachers are going to watch you. Stage could be any, doesn't make a difference, okay? But I want you to imagine this, okay? Imagine this, that you're about to step up on a stage and your palms are sweating and you're shivering and your heartbeat is racing and your mind is just filled up with one thought. You know what that is? What if I mess up? Sounds familiar, right? See, let me share a very interesting fact with you. Let me share a truth. Let me throw a truth bomb at you, okay? That is, listen to me very carefully, 95% of public speaking is done even before you step up on a stage. You heard me right. 95% of public speaking is done even before you step up on stage. 95% of public speaking is done even before you open your mouth to speak anything. 95%, okay? So in this video, I will be sharing two biggest mistakes that people generally make when it comes to public speaking. Now, I want you to stick till the very end of the video because the mistakes that I'm about to share are very common and you might be making those mistakes because of which your message is not landing the way it should land, right? So let's start with mistake number one. See, the most common and the first mistake people make is thinking about worst case scenarios. Okay, that's that's first mistake. Always thinking about the worst case scenarios, preparing for worst case scenarios, preparing for what if things go wrong. Okay, most of the people, let's say they have a presentation, they have a speech which they have to deliver. Days before their speech, days before their presentation, they start thinking the worst case scenarios. Even if there are not even slightest chances of that thing to happen, but they'll make up things. For example, what if I forget? What if I fumble? Or what if I freeze? Or maybe, what if people laugh at me? What if I get embarrassed? What if no one likes me? So most of the time, days and weeks before our speech, people are mostly thinking, what if this, what if that? And generally, people are preparing for the worst case scenarios, okay? Now, here's what I want you to really understand. That our mind has the power to attract things which it focuses on, okay? Our mind really has that magical power that it can attract the things on which it is focusing, okay? So if you're doing this negative mental rehearsal again and again and again, that, oh, what if this, what if nobody likes me? Then the chances are it's going to happen, okay? The chances are it's going to happen. So what I want you to do, listen, what I want you to do is just flip this talk completely. Instead of doing this negative mental rehearsal, I want you to do the positive mental rehearsal / visualization, okay? I'm sure you must have heard of the power of visualization. A lot of top athletes use visualization, the power of visualization. Virat Kohli uses the power of visualization. Now, what I want you to do is this. Days before your speech, days before your presentation, instead of thinking, what if this, what if that, just close your eyes. You can try it right now. Just close your eyes, okay? Close your eyes. Close your eyes and start thinking that I'm entering this beautiful hall. I'm stepping up the stage. This room has an amazing vibe, enthusiastic vibe. People are really looking forward to talk to me. I am very comfortable. I am feeling very confident. I am feeling very enthusiastic. If I'm landing a joke, if I'm cracking a joke, it's really landing correctly. Whatever message I'm trying to put across, it is really landing properly. People are engaging with me. They're giving me a big round of applause. I have this amazing command on stage, amazing presence on stage. Now, tell me, how does that feel? Awesome, right? It feels awesome. It feels awesome to think like that. So this is what I want you to do. This is the 95% of the success that you get before you go on the stage. And that's true. That's true. It's not gyan. No, no, it's not gyan. I'm not giving you a motivational fluff. Okay, it's neuroscience. It's neuroscience. Our brains cannot tell the difference between real and imaginary. So 95% of public speaking is done before you step on the stage. This is true. So that 95% that 95% includes positive mental rehearsal. So instead of thinking, oh, what if this, what if that, you have to think, I am amazing, confident, I am radiating enthusiasm and people are vibing with me. You have to think like that. That's number one, okay? Number two, second biggest mistake. This might offend you a little bit and you might think, what is she saying? But the second biggest mistake that people do is believing content is king. Okay, believing content is king. Now, don't get me wrong, hear me out. Okay, hear me out. See, content is very important. It really is very important. What message you are trying to say, okay, what message you are trying to put across, it's very, very important. But the main thing is how you're saying that. Okay, I want you to think. Last time, whenever you heard an inspiring speech, last time whenever you heard to a really good public speaker whom you really liked and whom you really admire, tell me, do you like them or do you felt inspired by their speech just because of their content, of what they were saying? Or you felt inspired because of how they were saying things? I'm sure the answer is latter, right? That it's because of how they were saying things. It's because you felt deeply connected to them, right? So it's not only about content, it's about engagement. So the answer is engagement. Engagement is way important than content when it comes to public speaking. See, again, let me try and explain this point because it's really important. What I have seen, and I'm quite sure you'll be able to relate to this, and let me know in the comments if you're able to relate, and let me know if you do the same mistake. So I have seen people practicing, and people days and weeks before their speeches, their presentations, they do the research, write down statistics, facts, and do a lot of research about the content, which is good, which is great. You have to do it. But you also have to give specific date, specific time period, which you will devote on thinking, how am I going to engage people in this conversation? How am I going to make people interested in this conversation? Okay. So for example, instead of just thinking about the facts, statistics, numbers, research, you have to think, should I ask a question to them? So you can inculcate a great question so that your audience feels a little hooked into the conversation. Okay, so include a question. Second, you can include a personal story. Okay, maybe a fun personal story to engage your audience. If not a personal story, you can share a story of any public figure, right, which is related to your topic. So you always have to think about engagement, how you're going to engage your audience. When it comes to public speaking, engagement is way more important than your content. Okay, it's really important. So think about how you're going to engage people. There are various ways, for example, question, stories, and activities. There are many things that you can do for engaging people. For that, let me tell you a simple trick. When it comes to engagement, always shift your focus. Instead of thinking, how am I going to look? Am I going to look nice or not? Are people going to like me or not? Instead of thinking about yourself, okay, me, myself, think about your audience. For example, what is the value that I can give them? Okay. What is it that this speech or this presentation, what is it that is what is that one point that will leave them or will have a lasting impact on them? Or what is the message that I want to really share? Okay. So think about them, make it audience oriented, not me oriented. That's the biggest thing that I can tell you in this. So two things I want you to take away. One, positive mental rehearsals, and second, think about engagement equally, at least equally, as you think about your content.